All right, this is Deidre McIntyre. I'm with Black People in Cryptocurrency, and I'm here with Kaz Patterson, who's with NiftyCo as well as Sneakrcred, and she's going to give us a demo of Sneakrcred today because I think where sometimes the disconnect comes for some people is understanding how digital collectibles work on the blockchain and what makes them different and what kind of marketplace that exists. So, Sneaker Cred is the first NFT, non fungible token of a sneaker item on the blockchain. And it is a brainchild of Kaz Patterson. So, we're going to let her take it away and give us an idea of how this digital sneaker culture works.
All right, get used to this format usually on the phone. So yeah, let's just go over a few things. So one, you need to have Coinbase wallet. It used to be called Soshi wallet. It's a wallet where you can both be onboarded to cryptocurrency, meaning that you can purchase cryptocurrency from your bank or debit card, and you can also display the NFT items in your wallet. So that's a requirement, as well as we probably should go over MetaMask because that's the easiest way to get crypto onto Sneakrcred.
So basically, the first step is to buy crypto any way you can buy it and have an Ethereum compatible wallet. So whether that's an ATM, that's Coinbase, that's Cash App, even if you have to buy Bitcoin first and then from there buy Ethereum, if you can't, in most cases you can buy Ethereum directly in terms of like at least an ATM and some of the exchanges like Coinbase or Gemini. So you've got that Ether there, and then you need to move it where?
So the second portion, what you just went over in great detail, I just want to use this as a moment to promote. We're going to be offering like a Sneakrcred school where we actually teach and go through each of the steps, and you can ask questions, and we'll basically hold your hand through the entire process of you getting on board to cryptocurrency, whether it's through Bitcoin or any other crypto, trading that cryptocurrency, and setting up all those processes correctly so that we can participate into the secondary and tertiary market of NFTs, sneaker collection. You want me to walk through it, or should you walk through it?
No, you're gonna walk through it. This is your demo. It's your show. I'm sitting here learning too. I mean, I know the basics of buying crypto and everything like that, but once you start talking NFTs, I look at OpenSea and I'm like, oh, that's nice. Oh, look, they're selling and buying. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, so here at Sneakrcred, we're just gonna go to, let's pick Crazy J.
So Crazy J is a user, right?
Crazy J is our newest drop, our latest drop.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over through that. So Crazy J is one of our first influencer base drop is an artist, Ken Fresh. He's a really dope designer. He's one of our first 23. The Ethereum was our like flagship sneaker token.
Right, Valentine's Day, 2020. Okay.
That's right. So this was like based off our test net, and so for example, we can see the different sneakers and what these different amounts donated. The note is actually Ethereum. So if you see something that's like 0.3, that's around like $4 for a sneaker.
So is that the price they bought it at, or the price they sold it at, or what is that? The value?
Yeah, it says previously at, and that's the amount that they bought it at. So for this amount here.
Okay.
And then you can see the history of the buying and selling and auction. So now Enigma has put it on sale for 0.3.
Okay.
So if you wanted to buy now, or you can make an offer, let's just try to go. So let's click buy now, and it's gonna have to sign into my wallet. I'm gonna have to stop here for a second. I'm gonna put in my address.
So you're using a MetaMask wallet, which basically allows you to spend your Ether by way of web browser in conjunction with the OpenSea, which is the marketplace, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm trying to enter my password.
I know. Wrong hint. Wrong hint. It's super secure.
Yeah, I'd like to use this moment to explain about signing into wallets and blockchain and the fact that you're completely responsible for remembering your password. There's no central company that you can email to get your password reset. So I just want to re-emphasize that because the only way to restore your account is to import the account seed phrase, and you have to have that on hand or written down in someplace safe. And you know.
Yeah, so just in case there's some new people that are watching, the difference between a Bitcoin and a PayPal or Bitcoin in your online bank is Bitcoin doesn't have a CEO, doesn't have a customer support. You're responsible for when you set up the account and you set your password, and then there is something called a seed phrase, which is like 12 additional random words. You have to secure all of that stuff yourself. So if you forget it, there's those 12 random words that you could memorize, but if you couldn't remember your password, there's no point in memorizing that. You need to secure it somewhere so that you can retrieve your own password. You're your own customer support. So most of the peer-to-peer cryptocurrencies like Ethereum are the same way. You can't, send an email to Vitalik Buterin or any other founders and be like, "Hey, I lost my password," because they're going to be like, "You're up the creek." You need to secure your own password in terms of using the decentralized cryptocurrencies.
Okay, so I'm back in, so I'll go back to sharing my screen. And now you've noticed I have here OpenSea. So let me just go into detail about this. This pop-up notification, once you get signed in, it's going to ask you to connect to the account, and then you're going to be asked again to confirm the transaction because the blockchain is writable, but like you have to put the time. There's no way to actually automate this process. So that's how blockchain transactions work.
Right, very much like if any people in business are familiar with, DocuSign, or you have to verify that, you're giving you an option to, in case you made a mistake, to cancel it out because you need to verify that you want to do what you're doing.
Okay, so at this point, you see how much Ethereum I have here, and if I wanted to buy now, I just would basically buy this token.
Okay.
So we're gonna go through that transaction. And just to let people know too, like the reason why it might appear to be waiting times is because the transaction is occurring in the background on the blockchain. So the Web3 transaction occurs once the MetaMask confirmation comes up. So I confirm the transaction, it's telling you how much gas the charges, the gas is especially like the processing fee, but it's a blockchain transaction that's the amount of gas and gas is basically it's like how you have to power your car, you have to power the blockchain to make these conversations.
Yeah, so the best way to describe, for newbies also just think of gas as that's that processing fee, that transaction fee.
Okay, great. So transaction succeeded. So to view my item, so that's my item. And now in my wallet, this is where we go to my Sneakrcred wallet, and yeah.
So how do you find? I mean, if you wanted to sell, how do you find your buyers? I mean, is it just open and then you don't know who's going to get it, or can you target people? Like how do you contact someone like, yeah, I'm interested in selling this. Okay, let me reach out to that person.
You can put it up for auction. Okay, so here's the transaction. And then just people want to get more technical, you can do the transaction on user's end, and it will show you which transaction had. So this is where the NFT lives. It shows you the block. So this is how many blocks on the blockchain it took for the verified block confirmation. So this is what block that is in the timestamp. So the third, which is the name of the block, is split to the OpenSea contract that this is and then it shows you the tokens transferred. And these little, I want to point out these little, they're like little Tetrises or like little Minecrafts, or this is like a blockchain based, like a icon system for block addresses. Everybody has it.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest blocks for people who don't understand the difference between commercial transactions and traditional games, you're interfacing with the company. So you're interfacing with, Minecraft when you're buying something from them, or Roblox, as my daughter is into with them. Whereas this, you're interfacing with a tool, or it's more commonly a ledger, but basically you're interfacing not necessarily with Ethereum, the company, but with the blockchain, the tool that verifies that a transaction happened between two individuals. So you can look with that view transaction text link. Anybody in the world can look at that, so it's like a gigantic receipt of everything that has happened on the Ethereum, in this case, the Ethereum blockchain, that the whole world can look at and say, yeah, that I don't know who this address belongs to, but I can see that this address bought from this address, or at least exchanged money from this address. Even if you don't know the details, you know what happened. So it's like a big receipt that everybody in the world can look at.
Right, exactly. So these are our newest drop, the Crazy J drop. It's a mashup Pink Fresh did between the Kobe 8 and the Jordan 12. It's like super popular in the comments from the Beauty Report that was featured in it. So we decided to partner with him and do this as our first inaugural designer drop.
Now this is, professional design. Tell me a little bit more about Ken Fresh. What is about his background?
Sure. Ken Fresh. Here, let me just pull up Ken on Instagram.
And while you're at it, I know this particular Crazy J drop is connected with some fundraising. So you might want to talk about, how that works.
Yeah. We wanted to, bring awareness to a few different, causes. So the first cause is we wanted to donate some of the proceeds. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Mamba Academy. So yeah, Ken's done a lot of amazing work. He's done a lot of really cool, figure vectors. So I'll usually kind of talk about how our vector system works. We have 23 influencers and research designers. And what we do is we vectorize their work. If you have a vector image yourself, a lot of times we just purchase that from the artist. We pay a 50/50 profit share from those vectors. And that could be set up as quickly as, using our smart contract, you can put it in the wallet, and then you'll just automatically get your portion of the sales and the revenue, whether it be secondary market referrals or tertiary so we make a 2.5% percentage from professional royalties, and then we could set up a smart contract to deliver that to our artists.
So you make money from the initial release from you in any sales, and then you make also from additional transactions among the people who keep reselling it, correct?
That's right. So just like in the regular future market, you can essentially flip your thing.
Right.
And how you saw me buy that one thing, and somebody will flip that thing. So they bought it at a set price, and you can witness the transaction where you can see what the total one has, and then that'll basically give you the amount of money that they paid.
Okay, so that's all of your sales and auctions.
Yeah, these are the auctions.
Okay.
So if we go to the auction here, um, it'll show you the born date and the date that the auction begins. And I think these are auctions for a month. You got 24 days left. So this is, I'll just use that as an opportunity to talk about referrals. So if people go from our site and refer to other NFTs, we also get a percentage of that sale to where we want to go into the here. So the minimum bid for these is between 1 Ether and 2 Ether and 53 Ether. It doesn't bar for size for the collectibility status. So this one's so what we did was we added nicknames, and then we also added different DNA properties. So this one has a legendary DNA. Once we develop our gaming platform, we'll be able to import these boosts. So you have 4 different boosts that's associated with this property, and also you can see its birth address.
Right.
And its auction.
See, that's what I was about to ask you. That was my follow-up question about the plan for integrating the NFT, the Sneakrcred NFTs into gaming environment, and how would that work?
Yeah, so that basically works where once you onboard your wallet, then you'll be able to import it into the game, right? So that would be one of the main features that once you are imported into our system, then we will onboard you into our wallet system, and then that wallet will recognize you and your NFT, your certificate NFT, and then we will start implementing it into the game. Two different crazy things. And then you can see the sneaker genetics. So for like the sneakerheads out there, we use a lot of from my past, you see I'm an athlete. I played college football. I played for the Las Vegas team, and I also played so this kind of gives you the boost on each one. Each one has a different, set of kind of boosts. You also have a different set of properties that can be used for, like I mentioned, the sneaker genetics as well as, legendary genetics.
How would you characterize, your current? You're very young, so how would you characterize your current customer base? Were they people who are already in the NFT, or are you seeing a shift since Valentine's Day of, more interest from sneakerheads that not necessarily in this demographic? How would you describe your current, base of people who've kind of reached out to you and told you, giving you feedback about Sneakrcred?
Yeah, so kind of pre-launch, I did a lot of questionnaires and just kind of like gauged in the audience because there's 3 main audiences. There's sneakerhead community, there's crypto folks, and then there's gamers. And there are points where these 3 intersect. So right now, currently what we captured is early stage like crypto users that are already onboarded into marketplaces like OpenSea and non-origin. Those have been our main customers so far. We've had expressed interest in folks who, like yourself, they want to know how to do Sneakrcred, but just like the idea of setting up a wallet and doing all these things actually not really.
Yeah, that's the point of this, because I've seen it. And I've been to OpenSea and I've looked at individual sneakers and said, "Oh, this looks great," but I don't know what to do. I think only Jamari I know is the only peer that I know, aside from you, that actually bought a sneaker. So the thing is to get more people to dive in, get their, buy their crypto, get their Ethereum, set up their MetaMask wallet, and then connect it with OpenSea the Sneakrcred platform, and then just kind of dive in and see how the auctioning prices and buy prices work. So I appreciate this time that you've given to like just to show the screens, because it does matter. Seeing is like a lot better for people in terms of their learning curve. It's a lot faster. So how can people reach you, and what type of people are you trying to connect with to further the stage of your startup?
Yeah, right now we're currently raising our 15 rounds. So I've done a lot of investor meetings. Done about like 70 calls with investors and VCs, angel investors. Also very interested in partnerships and working relationships with folks who are into the virtual spaces like AR, VR, XR. We're interested in partnering with athletes and athletic representation folks who may want to do some type of like digital, collaboration agreement for their athletes to have a digital ticket wheel. We're looking forward to partnering with sports players. We have some attention from the NBA 2K League, New York Knicks, one of their centers, the main stars. So, just we're really interested in folks who are curious, and I'm going to use this as another plug for our Sneakrcred tool, where you can sign up to learn how to buy, sell, and trade digital sneakers and make money from it.
How do people find out about the school?
Yeah, you can find out. You can follow us on Twitter, Sneakrcred, dope spelling. We spell it SNAKRCRED. It's our main website here.
So SNEAKRCRED, right?
Yeah, and then also. So you can also email me personally at Casimir@Sneakrcred.com.
Awesome.
Mir at Sneakrcred, like the KR spelling. We spell it the Silicon Valley way.
It's a brand that people have to learn. Yeah, so thanks for your time. I'm hopefully people will have a clearer understanding of digital collectibles and why digital collectibles on the blockchain is different from a company just manufacturing and issuing. Because I think people, although Topps has actually moved to a blockchain environment, but I think people are so used to a company issuing. Here's your Cabbage Patch doll, here's your pet rock, and you wait for the company. And you are a company and you're issuing it, but you're empowering people to and encouraging people to resell that, and you can actually benefit from their actually increasing the value of that, and that makes a difference, because the traditional sneaker resales, once they leave, Nike on Saturday, it's gone. So, I mean, this is the platform for digital art, music, audio, all of that, to have long-lasting value, not only to the manufacturer, but empower people to be business owners even more so.
Yeah, and just to even like make some further distinction and clarification, like we had a thesis that there's this analogy between sneakers and the physical world and the digital world, and we've proven it out. We sold 130 different sneaker tokens. The values range between $4 to $1,000. And they resell as much as the actual physical pair, $172 is the selling price, so it's kind of uncanny. And just think about it, there's a way for you to participate in this marketplace, and you can also show off your street collection and have a visual representation of your street collection. So I think those are like very key aspects in terms of now in a post-COVID world where we do a lot of our shopping in the digital world anyway. These digital marketplaces offer some value actually that needs to be unlocked. And I wanted to kind of make this PSA that I wanted to use sneaker collecting because in the black community, a lot of folks use it as an investment asset as well.
Yeah, I mean, art is art. Art is art, whether it's tangible or whether it's digital. And if it's unique and somebody else doesn't have it, then there's value to that to someone else who wants that. And that's the bottom line. It's kind of hard for people that think, well, it's not a sneaker. Well, it's a digital sneaker that has a specific value and a specific uniqueness to it. So and it's funny because gamers kind of get it. You want certain skins, you want certain things. So
Our third marketplace, they really get it, and I think that that main point I wanted to bring up is about how collectors see assets and then how people approach collecting. Like you mentioned earlier, Mini Baby, the different toys, or even in digital space, crypto CDs or what have you. There's a lot of projects that are out there that encourage people to collect, but I think that the more folks who know about this and know this exists, then they'll see a lot of themselves in the aspect of digital sneaker collecting as well.
exactly, exactly. So tell all your teenagers, like, look, because there's no age prohibition, right?
Yeah, there's no age
No
prohibition.
age prohibition.
So millionaires are like under the age of 25.
Exactly. You should not be running. Well, let's not put it out there, but it's safer. Let's put it this way: it's safer to buy digital sneakers, and actually, in terms of not having to wear a mask. So you might as well take advantage of the same type of culture to be able to buy it digitally and exchange it digitally versus putting on your mask and your gloves and standing and waiting online till you can go into a store.
Yeah, and then I can elaborate on that further. So, for example, with the sneaker tokens, right? Like people have made this comment when I just want to clarify it. So, what you don't see behind the scenes is that we've used an algorithm and a computer algorithm to complementary color that our sneaker tokens. So it's not just a picture. There's a lot of code behind the scenes that makes this work. So what you're viewing as that complete picture is completely generated in the back end with our proprietary software.
Yeah, because it doesn't, to me, I mean, it could be my imagination, but it doesn't, to me, look like the yellow of Showboat is exactly the same of the yellow as, I think it was alternate red that you had. So there's like, shades of difference even between the different colors in some of the designs.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out because sometimes people on Instagram they're like, "What are these just pictures of sneakers?" And there's actually a company out there that's like costing what.
Yeah, we're seeing that a lot in our community. It's funny you should mention that. I literally made a Twitter post yesterday because hearing from a lot of people behind the scene, we get our stuff copied a lot, and it's not even copied well. Don't even name any names. But yeah, it's not a picture. There's specificity in terms of ownership and in terms of design.
I wanted to like echo what you said earlier about being an educator. My mom's an educator too. That there needs to be a focus or restructuring as we move forward post COVID on educating our youth in terms of STEM and financial improvements and awareness. And I think this is a perfectly, safe space for that to occur. I mean, you can think about it as, a STEM project that can also connect you with the finance.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was, if I'm not mistaken, there was literally I want to say, NYU, but I don't even know. There was like a university course or a university tied course to Brooklyn public school system of teaching about sneaker culture. And this is just another wing of that involves the economics of that as well. Yeah, I will have to research. It's something that I stumbled upon when I did the initial article with you, and I don't think I included that information. But it was like, oh, okay, this person is connected to this person is connected. So it's one of the primary sneaker publications there's somebody on that board that's also involved. So I have to re-look it up again. It's also involved in an education program that involves New York City public schools. But going into we don't know what the state of COVID-19 will be in the fall. This is something that can continue with that education in the digital, from their individualized homes, and it works well in terms of teaching the same lessons but using a digital platform to do that.
Mandatory. I think that there needs to be an overhaul on what school kids are learning, and then part of my interview last Friday was speaking on the fact that it took me a long ass time to be able to get to the point where I got, because there was no blockchain when I was in college, and there was no cryptocurrency really until like after 2009.
Well, here on the East Coast, we still really don't have it. So you are way, you're in San Francisco, right? Yeah. So you on the West Coast are always like a good 3 years ahead of us on the East Coast. Maybe save Atlanta area, but that other than Atlanta and possibly Washington D.C., New York is dark as far as I'm concerned. I'm in the New York market, even being in New Jersey, a smash between New York and Philadelphia. The whole state of New Jersey is. So we're not a big state. So half the state identifies with New York, and the other half identifies with the Philadelphia region. A lot of times, in terms of alignment with sports and sports teams. So, but this area is still really far behind because we're the traditional financial sector, and they've been resistant and not very welcome in terms of I should say only blockchain as it relates to improving existing financial institutions, not in terms of startups, and increasing economic opportunities in a startup fashion. So it's a very different vibe. So we have to constantly look towards you guys and see what you're doing, and then talk amongst ourselves, and everyone thinks we're crazy talking here. So we're at the you're still crazy phase, that type of thing, or is it a scam phase? That type of we're very much there. But I think as people,
That's here to stay. Blockchain.
it is.
I taught a class last year, last summer, cryptocurrency and on the blockchain. And yeah, like we're gonna be doing our Sneakrcred school. Once we have the flyers, I'll print the flyers out and just grade it out.
Awesome. Well, thank you for this time. Thank you for this demo. Apologize to all viewers on the quality. Doing the best we can with some of these platforms. But other than that, I think the audio is going to be great, even where it gets a little fuzzy. Definitely check out Sneakrcred on OpenSea, which is the marketplace for many NFTs. And definitely check the new line, Crazy J. There's some opportunities for you to do some sneaker buys that also benefit Mamba Academy and other charitable organizations that help people, in addition to you having some fun and learning a new economy and a new marketplace. So any last words?
Yeah, so you can also find us on Instagram at Sneakrcred, and also you can find me on Facebook at Casimir Patterson, and also you can find us on Facebook.
Exactly. All right, and you can check the Black people in cryptocurrencies, Black on the blockchain list. She's among the 70 or so startup founders there. And if you noticed recently, last month, we talked to Kaz a lot because the gaming sector in general, even in this COVID time, is the area that's seeing the growth. So, a lot of times we talk to you, we talk to Jamari Peterson, we talk to Eduardo Jackson, and I've been remiss to talk to Oladapo Ajayi, but I really do know about his Kitties Fight on NFT as well. But there's definitely development growth and economic growth because people are home, and it's something that it's relieving a lot of stress to do something that you're passionate about. If you're passionate about sneakers and you have not been able to get out to the stores on Saturdays because the mall has not been open, this is what you need to look into. All right? Thanks a lot. Stay blessed. Take care.